After launching the Rippaverse, I scaled back on general content creation. I wanted to focus on building the business and becoming a better professional. Of course, we have our share of people that don't like us, and they're free to have whatever opinions they want about me or my work. But there is this one dishonest narrative that does keep being pushed. They claim I built my career on hating Marvel and DC, so now they think they're just giving me a taste of my own medicine, but that's completely false. So today, we're going to shut that down with receipts. Let's get into it. First, let's get something straight. My career wasn't built on comic book content. I've been on YouTube since 2006 and posting regularly since 2007. My channel first took off through the Dallas hip hop scene, during the My Dougie and Dallas Boogie era, and later blew up because of my metalcore vocal covers. Then in 2010, I became a libertarian political commentator, incorporating those ideas into my music. My first successful band, Fire from the Gods, even had an entire EP about it. And by 2015, my current band, Backwards, was already established and touring long before I ever started making comic book content on YouTube. That was also the same year I appeared on Fox News with Tucker Carlson to discuss minimum wage. And that's not even touching my Blaze appearances a decade ago with Dana Loesch or my role in founding of Being Libertarian. So before I ever reviewed a comic book, I already had a sizable following, multiple accomplishments, and a fully established career. Now, all that said, I've been a fan of Marvel and DC my entire life, and I've got countless amount of long boxes full of comics. And if you go back to my old content from the early 2010s, it's easy to find photos and videos of me rocking comic book based merch. Even in my political commentary videos, you'd see comic related material in the background because it's always been a part of my life. When I finally started making real money as an adult, I was spending hundreds of dollars a week on comics. My collection is massive. Now, around 2016, I took that passion to YouTube, making comic book reviews, commentary, and lore videos, breaking down stories, characters, and the industry itself. Now, keep in mind, I've been calling out the goofiness of diversity and inclusivity agendas since the early 2010s. My first video addressing it in relation to comics was back in 2017. 2018 was the year of my infamous Supergirl review. So no, I didn't switch up for views. I've been pretty consistent. But apparently some of y'all missed all the positive reviews I've given over the years, so now we're gonna go through them all with receipts. In January of 2018, I positively reviewed the first episode of Black Lightning. So I finally got around to watching the first episode of the CW's depiction of Black Lightning, and I must say, I'm really impressed. Let's go to the rest of that year. I spoke good things about the hype surrounding Black Panther. That year I started my Who is Thanos series, which dove into the lore of that character. 18 plus videos. And keep in mind, I edit all of these myself. I gave a positive review of the first Venom movie. I gave a positive review of Aquaman and did a deep dive into the history of that character. A 40-minute long video. I also talked about how Mira was a refreshing character. Something that I failed to mention, and it's a big deal, and that's regarding how refreshing the depiction of Mira was throughout the film. Now let's go into 2019. I did a video on 3 black characters Marvel should expand on. I gave a positive review of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man issue number 1. I personally love it. I gave a positive review on Punisher number 1. Everybody knows how I felt about Black Widow No Restraints Play. I reviewed all of those issues, so 5 separate videos, and this is largely why the Saskas work for the Rippaverse. I did a 3-video series trying to help people understand DC's current continuity. I talked positively about Blade. I don't think you understand what Blade and Wesley Snipes' acting really did for the comic book industry, man. I nerded out about Thanos. I gave a positive review of Avengers number 16 when Blade returned. I went over the first appearance of Monica Rambeau. I even spoke positively about Disney Plus in relation to Marvel. I gave my top 4 underdeveloped black characters. And coming in at number 1, Hotspot, aka Isaiah Crockett. I gave a fair review of Avengers Endgame. I gave a positive review on Agents of Atlas. Yeah, I was talking about Luna Snow long before people learned about her from Marvel Rivals. I talked about a new Latino character Marvel did absolutely nothing with. I talked about how, as far as ongoing series, Detective Comics was my favorite series. I spoke positively about Arrow number 1. So Arrow recommend. I love the artwork, man. Spoke decently about Symbiote Spider-Man. I talked positively about the casting of Monica Rambeau. They didn't fuck this casting up. I spoke positively about Savage Avengers. I spoke positively about Avengers Loki Unleashed. Encourage you guys to pick this book up. It was great. I gave a positive review of Guardians issue number 9. I gave a positive review of the first Joker film. This is more of a drama thriller type of movie, which works well in a Gotham setting. I went to bat for the House of X actually defending it against people that called it SJW. I gave a positive review of the House and Powers of X. I gave a positive review of Shazam. I gave a positive review of Ghost Rider issue number 1. I spoke positively about Jessica Jones beating up a communist. There's not that many good books, decent books that are being dropped by Marvel. This is one of them. I hyped up the Agents of Atlas, spoke positively about Marauders issue number 1, hyped up the original X-Men, the animated series. I hyped up Justice League Dark issue number 17. I talked about being originally stoked about Wonder Woman 1984. Oh man, okay. I like it a lot. Moving on to 2020, I was originally hyped for New Mutants. Hell, I did everything I could to give that as fair of a review as possible. I'm on board. Like, I've seen enough. I'm 100% on board. I nerded out on the Silver Surfer. I hyped up Marauders. I really do enjoy Marauders. Again, I spoke well about Thor number 1. I gave good reviews to The Amazing Mary Jane. I gave a positive review on X-Force. X-Force I do recommend if you guys are more into the more adult-oriented stuff. I thought it was great that Brother Voodoo was rumored to appear in the new Doctor Strange movie. I thought it was awesome that Sync returned. I gave a good review to Thor issue number 2. I nerded out about an old Nomad comic. I thought X-Men and Fantastic Four could have been a potential classic. Can't recommend this enough. I reviewed Thor issue number 3 positively. I thought Batman issue number 89 was solid. I thought Justice League number 41 was great. I spoke well about Gotham City Monsters. I tried to get people somewhat intrigued by Marvel's Avengers. I did a countless amount of videos on this video game. I said I was originally excited for Gotham Knights. I reviewed the first 5 issues of Thor positively. And next year, I gave a nearly 2-hour review of Justice League while also going through the history. It does some great things that hopefully DC Comics utilizes in the future. Now, as you know, I publicly committed to the Rippaverse in March of 2021, and my comic book review slowed down significantly. My intention is, and that is the launching of what is going to be known as the Rippaverse. In June of that year, I made a video addressing why I stopped doing reviews. I have to reiterate for guys that don't really know, like, I'm not enthusiastic at all about this stuff. And in August, I explicitly stated that I'm dedicating a lot of time to creating the Rippaverse. But right now, I am like in a creative space that I gotta dedicate all of my time. It's not enough time in the day, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta dedicate it all that I do have for my own creation, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. That year, I officially canceled my pull list, and the last movie I saw, I believe, was Black Widow. Of course, we'd speak about some things touch and go on For Canon's Sake, my daily show, but I was transparent that I was done with reviews. I'm a lifelong comic book fan. I never stopped loving the medium, and I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on comics over the years. So unless you have a mountain of positive reviews about what I've been doing, no, you're not doing what I did with Marvel and DC. Yes, I criticized comics when you had writers beating you over the head or leading with these social agendas, or they had a character acting out of character, but at the same time, I was giving positive reviews to various books, movies, and even video games. If you don't like me or the Rippaverse, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, as I always say. But don't pretend what you're doing is the same thing that I did. You can't really do that unless you're being dishonest.